Oh, I didn't change the number to 99.
Oh, you didn't? All right. Well, that can be done in post. That's no big
I
deal.
definitely forgot to change the number, yeah. Now it's 96, Don't we do the show? We got to podcast on the go.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Spencer's Ventures podcast, episode
Podcast, yeah.
99. I am going to move over a smidge. Are you able to move over at all?
No, I'm
Damn.
large.
Okay. Well, no, I know that there's another chair in the way over there, but anyway, okay. So, um, yes. Hello everyone. We don't have our regular lighting tonight because I didn't feel like setting it up. So it might look a little different, but y'all will live. If you are able to jump in and join us live, make sure you say hello so we know you're here. And we're going to get right to it. So Fright Fest, Dan has had opportunity to get out once, I think, right? Was it just one time? I think it was just one time. He's not speaking. I hate it when he does this. Now I have my robe on, but now I'm getting too warm and I need to slide it off. So it is a Saturday night. We normally don't go live on a Saturday night, but it is rainy. It's been raining like all day. And yeah, so
Hi, Jen.
hey Jen. Um I have really enjoyed Fright Fest. The few times that I've been able to get out there. Dan has gone. It was just one time, right?
I don't know. It was once or twice.
Oh, you were with me a couple of times, but that was before Saul and Conjuring were open.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk specifically about, well, first of all, I'm just going to give a real quick take about the RIP Lounge. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move this chair. Okay. I really liked the RIP Lounge when I did it for Media Day. I thought the food was really good. I do think if you want to do something different and special and you're a diamond pass holder or higher, I think it is. Don't completely quote me on that, but the RIP Lounge with the buffet is $35. I don't think that's too bad. So if you just want to do something different and special, I think it's kind of worth it. If you have it to spend and you want to try it, I would say that it's worth it. The tours, they are probably worth it as well. So the tours, you get the RIP Lounge with the buffet and front of the line access to the mazes. And when they say front of the line, they mean front of the line because we were waiting in line one night for it. I think it was media night, and they actually did bring a group up to the front of the line past us, and we were in express. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like 150. I'm sorry, again, I don't know all the prices. I did put them in the video. I put a graphic in the video for that. I think it's 150 for a private tour and 99 for a group that's not private. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's the RIP Lounge. I
Hi,
think it's
Sarah.
cool. Hi, Sarah. Oh my gosh, you know what is funny? In the thank you barbecue video, which went up yesterday, we had a barbecue at the house to thank all of the.
I noticed it went up.
Yeah, to thank all of the volunteers that were doing Scares for Cares. We just had them over and had a little thank you barbecue, a get together. And I did put a video up from that yesterday. And Dan made a random shout out. Do you remember the name you used?
I kind of do.
It was Sarah.
It was, wasn't it?
It was Sarah. So there's Sarah.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah, I'll randomly call people out only by first name, so it's vague enough where it can apply to 30 people.
Yeah, Michael, we should be there next Saturday night. Unfortunately, like I wasn't gonna go in the rain. And they closed at 9 o'clock too.
I love that we go live once a year and we still have a decent.
I know, I love that. I know we need to get better. We need to get better about going live, but
you guys are wonderful.
We get tired, we get busy, it's just nuts.
Hold on. She gets tired. She gets busy. I can get busy sometimes. This is mostly on her.
You
though.
could go solo though if you wanted to.
I guess. Well,
I mean,
I
you
wouldn't talk
could.
about Six Flags though.
Well, yeah, because it would have to be, we like having each other to play off of. So anyway,
I don't care about Six Flags enough to do that.
And real quick, I'll just make this quick announcement. Obviously, Scares for Carriers was postponed until next weekend. If you haven't seen the thank you barbecue, you don't know this yet. I was going to volunteer today and do it for the first time. So John and I were going to be doing the scaring together. And so now that's not happening because we decided that next weekend, whoops, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Next weekend, we decided we're not going to do it. Next weekend is the makeup weekend. So the Scares for Cares volunteers will be there next weekend.
I need a shave.
He and I will not though. But we are going to try to go and go ahead and do a vlog for Scares for Cares anyway.
Well, all right, real quick, look out for a Sesame Street vlog coming out at some point.
Sesame Place.
Whatever. Can we get on to the topics now? Or are you just going to keep rambling?
So I want to talk to you about the two new mazes, The Conjuring and Saw.
Okay, yes. What about? Ask me some questions.
What were your thoughts?
Oh man.
Because Dan is not a maze person.
So
at all.
Conjuring, without knowing the universe, it's not appealing to me. However, overall, it's significantly better than the base mazes, I'll call them, at the park. Like I would probably still, if you're like, you have to go into the park and do one maze, I'm far more likely to do that over the other mazes. However, that's with the caveat of Saul exists, and that maze is phenomenal.
Definitely.
I would actively go and do that one multiple times.
Now, did you know that the Saw and Conjuring mazes are done by an outside company?
Yes,
they're not.
I
even,
know that. I'm aware of that.
I just think Six
we
Flags could
do that
take
more often.
Yeah, Six Flags could take a page out of that book. I like the scene type.
Also,
scenario.
how did Saul look on YouTube? Like, how did that did it translate well? Hopefully, it did.
Oh, the maze footage that I took.
I'm talking to the comments, mother.
Well, I'm asking what you're, because you're asking, so I don't know.
Good quality on the video.
Cool.
Good. The more copyright theme. See, to me, it's not even. I mean, I will say that's the main reason I'm doing Saul, because I love the franchise, and the maze is really well done. But I think the fact that I would still do Conjuring speaks volumes, because I don't know the Conjuring like that at all.
Oh yeah, I would still walk through it, even though I really didn't.
I would argue that it doesn't need to be copyrighted necessarily. It's just the quality of that maze is really high.
Yeah, but the copyright, Michael's right. The copyrighted things, the IPs,
it will definitely drag people in.
The IPs is what's pulling people in.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. I want to digress for a moment. I love Sarah's comment.
We can ignore, like, we can keep moving though.
I love that.
It would have been something if you noticed that when it happened.
Well, I have a hard time seeing it. I have to really take a few moments to really.
My God.
I'm sorry. I'm old. I have bifocal or whatever they're called, transition lenses or whatever they're called.
Man.
So anyway,
lenses.
I loved both The Conjuring and Saw. Obviously, I love the storytelling that goes on with it. I like that, like, each room is another scene and it just flows so nicely. The Conjuring is really short. Saw is just a little bit short. Um,
I miss blood drums too.
but I think I'm liking Saul just a little bit better. The Saul maze intrigued me more,
Mm-hmm.
and it was definitely a little scarier. You guys have probably seen the vlogs.
Significantly scarier
Yeah,
than Conjuring.
You guys have probably seen the vlogs, but I'm afraid of anything without a face, and I am afraid of definitely pig face people. If it's a person that has an animal head, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I can't. It's just creepy. It's just so creepy. So pig face people really freak me out.
I think what's even freakier is it's pretty realistic. Like, it's pretty grounded in reality.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that is far. The Conjuring, I don't think would ever get me because it's so far from what could happen. The stuff in Saw is like, I could fall in a needle pit tomorrow.
Ew,
like that.
Where is there a needle pit that you would fall into, though?
Well, the way you all talk about Burlington, I don't know. Don't walk outside without your shoes on. You're going to step on heroin needles.
Go to Camden. Anyway, no offense to people that live in Camden. Whatever. So...
You can't just say something like that. You can't be like,
no
know who
offense.
I hate? I hate butchers.
Well, and I didn't
because they suck.
See, and I never said that. But
all
anyway,
butchers smell like grass.
Okay,
and
no
I
offense.
hate that. No offense. I saw the video of the mazes people film in to put it on these YouTube channel. Oh, to put on their YouTube channel. Yeah. I misread. Sorry, some of the comments are harder to read because there's a little bubble in front of the corner.
Yeah, that corner's kind of messing it up, but that's all right. I guess it's got to stay there.
I got you though. I knew what you meant, bud. Don't worry, I got you. I didn't think you were watching masses of people. Oh, I guess you could have.
Yeah,
all the masses people.
So overall, I think Fright Fest has been great. I actually like the pirate scare zone.
Yeah, I'm not like a fan.
I think. Oh, and I also have seen that they've added a couple new props in that scare zone. I think that's good because there is room for improvement there. I have had. There's a lot of room.
There's about a quarter mile.
There's a lot of room. But I don't even think it needs to be that big. I don't think it needs to be that big.
It doesn't necessarily need to be that big, but come on.
I really liked it. I got scared a couple times going through there because it's such a small area and there's like 6 or 7 scare actors in there. It makes it more difficult to get through that scare zone and not get a jump scare, like, because they are right there.
It's kind of sad.
Well, for me, I really liked it. I thought it was a good new scare zone. I'm sad to see Lady of the Lake go, but they took the Lady of the Lake stuff and they put it up at the fountain, which is very cool. And they also used some of the Lady of the Lake props near the RIP lounge that's over by Justice League, which is also a very nice place to go. They have had it open to the public lately, so like if you go out to Fright Fest, check over at that RIP lounge, the one by Justice League, and see if perhaps it's open. It's very, very cool in there. It might be because they've had it open to the public like the past couple of weeks.
So now that we've kind of gone through that,
yes,
there is we were talking about the mazes.
Yes.
And why don't you...
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, so I think there's a particular thing that really raises how good the Saw maze is above all else.
Yeah.
It raises the mazes to a new level.
Mm.
So, do you want to play a game?
If we're staying right here on this table and staying on the camera, then the answer is yes, but that's not really the question.
You should know that doesn't make you safe.
The question is, actually, it's not even a question. It's a statement. I want to play a game.
Yeah.
I want to play a game. So, because of the Saw maze, I got really intrigued. and I wanted to know more about these movies. And I was never interested in watching them before. I'm like, I don't need to see.
I finally talked her into it.
There have been, like, I like a good psychological thriller, horror type. Like, I like stupid stuff like The Shining. I like Stephen King. That
I'm
is
sorry.
psychological thriller / horror.
I don't know how many people you just pissed off, but it was a lot.
Oh, like something stupid like The Shining?
Because The Shining is well renowned as like one of the greatest horror movies
it's
ever.
Scary as hell is what it is.
Rose Red is on Hulu now. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
But people adore that movie.
Oh no,
the same way people adored The Sixth Sense.
I like it.
So you just aggravated so
But
many.
my point is that I like the psychological thriller type stuff, which to me doesn't really say horror, but some of it is horror.
It's definitely, it dips its toes in that pool.
I did not know.
There's a Venn diagram.
I did not know what Saw was really about. I thought it was people getting cut up or something. Like, I didn't know. It is, but there's
a Venn diagram of psychological and horror, and Saw is right in the center of that Venn diagram.
It is more psychological thriller though.
It's so good.
So I got so intrigued that last Friday?
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was last Friday night. We came home from the park and decided, let's watch Saw. So we watched Saw. And I was like, okay, the first one was really slow. And Dan was telling me that it's all set up. Like, you just have to stay. And I'm like, okay. It was really slow, though. It was kind of boring. And I'm like, this is not anything. I said, I can see the psychological part of it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what? So, and I liked it. And I liked it enough because in the last scene, and yes, we will probably be talking spoilers because these movies are over 10 years old or whatever. Yeah. So who cares?
That ending will
because of the ending of the first one where he's laying in the floor that entire time and he just gets up. Like, because of that, I was like, okay, I need to watch the second one now. I'm
not gonna lie. I hold that as probably one of the greatest twists in like cinema history.
It's really good.
So good.
It's really good.
And the execution on it is like flawless.
But I have to say, I saw some things coming. You see what I did there? I saw some things coming just before they were revealed. I was like, wait a minute, whatever. And I was trying to tell him when I thought I saw something coming. Before, so that it wasn't like I said, oh, I knew that was going to happen. And he's like, how, I told him ahead of time, like, I think this is what's happening.
And Saul is very good at leading you to the pieces and letting you figure it out as the movie's figuring it out.
Yeah.
It does that. Like, the writing is really tight on these movies.
Yeah.
And nothing has been done without purpose.
Right. So we just got done watching
the final chapter.
Right, which is actually Saw 7. So we watched 2 that first night, and then we've just been watching them a couple movies at a time.
Yeah, we watched the beginning of 3 that night, and then finished it the night after. And then, like, yesterday, that same day, we watched 4.
Or did we watch part of 4?
I think we watched the whole thing.
Because I could have sworn that last night we had watched...
We watched, So
4.
we watched part of 4, and then we finished 4 last night.
And then
tonight we watched...
We started to watch part of 5, I think, last night.
Yeah, maybe. And then tonight, like, right before we got on, we just finished the last chapter.
Through 7, right. So... And we're going to say 7, even though it's called the last chapter, because it makes it easier to...
We effectively just watched, like, 3 movies.
Right. So then the next 3 are all, like, prequel-type movies. So we thought, all right, let's stop ourselves here and do a podcast and talk about Saw.
I'm still a little... I really wish we started the other one, because it's my favorite starting room is in this next movie. I'm so damn excited.
Oh my gosh.
But it's the best starting room in the franchise.
Well, I would hope so because the bathroom sucks, I think.
I love the bathroom.
I
Well,
don't-
that's not even a starting room.
I'm not-
That's
yeah.
technically an ending room.
Yeah,
That
and I'm
was
not-
the starting room.
I'm not liking the bathroom very much.
love
like,
the
I don't know.
No, so I know the beginning of this movie, and I know the ending. I don't know the context or any of it. I don't know.
Jigsaw?
yes,
Jigsaw's the next
Jigsaw.
one?
I know the context, or I know the beginning and the end. I don't know any of the context. I don't know any of that. Because before I ever watched any of these movies, I watched almost every trap. And I made sure I watched all the endings. Because I was like, well,
Right.
how's this gonna...
All right, well, let's just keep it
Yes.
between
No,
1 and
yes,
7.
obviously. But it has one of my favorite starting rooms and, like, my
Okay.
favorite.
What I really like about these Saw movies is the story continues. It just
Yes,
keeps
it just
continuing.
keeps going.
And then
Unless
all of
if
a
you're
sudden,
talking about 4.
then all of a sudden, right, then all of a sudden in the middle of one of the movies, they jump back a couple movies and fill in things that had happened. And you're going, wait, hold up. Where are we?
Yeah.
Um,
This franchise loves twisting the timeline.
and I love that.
And it makes sure to clear up everything by the end,
It does.
which is nice.
And I also really enjoyed 4, where you find out that it was going on at the same,
same
time as 3.
So
I was like, say what? What is
So-
happening?
here's my thing. Do you have a favorite, like, quote? Like a
Oh.
reused line? Because depending on the movie,
See, that's hard because
the context kind of changes a little for the line.
well, and
each
so
time,
the
too.
problem is when there was like a good line, like something I might have chuckled at,
Like-
or just like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I forget the lines because in the
like
next
even the
scene
reused-
somebody's guts are flying
Yeah.
out or
Well,
something.
even the reused ones, like, do you have a favorite game over? Like, I think mine is the very first movie. That game over sits with me.
yeah,
because-
it's the most impactful, I think.
Yeah, people are so ungrateful to be alive.
Yeah.
But now, not you. Never again you. Game over. Like, that game over is so good.
Yeah.
I could listen to just that line.
Well, and just I'll tell you what.
I wish I knew the science behind it, because there's something about, because it's the same tonality every time.
Mhm.
Something about the game over line hits like a lot of like satisfying notes in my head.
Yeah. Well, I also like, there are certain, because it's not overused,
No,
but just so
It's
so
used in
so there's
beats.
there's certain times where this one line comes out and it's just in the perfect spot.
yes,
And I love that they don't use it
they don't.
over and over and
No.
over again. And it is
A bunch of lines get used like once per movie.
right. But it's I want to play a game.
Yeah.
And
I want to play a game.
when he just says I want to play a game, terror strikes
I don't even
in your
think-
heart.
I don't even think it's used in every single movie.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
And
but it feels like it is.
yeah, it's just
effective.
because it's not used all the time. It's like, okay.
Want to play a game.
And how about the guy in, I think it was just this last movie.
Mhm.
The guy was on the other side and the floor was all out and he was blind basically because he had the goggles on or whatever.
That was 4, but yes. Oh no, goggles. Yes. Okay, yeah, that's this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I thought you were talking Stitch.
and he's going, no, and he's going, I don't want to play. I don't want to play.
Oh, that was not him though. That said that. That was.
Oh, it wasn't?
That was in. I think it was 5 when that poor guy is standing on the ice, and he finally goes, "I don't want to play."
You're right. You're right. Oh, but the other guy didn't say it. I
No.
thought he said something
Nope, that
similar.
is the only time in this franchise.
That's the only time
that's
I
been
don't want to
said.
play.
Yeah.
Okay, well
which
that
is crazy. That
see, it's so hard to remember all of the scenes and what was
I'm
said
very good with
when.
remembering scenes and when they occur, and it might
Um,
take me a second to remember the
I
movie.
do, I do like that though. That was good. I don't want to play.
And
I mean,
it's
it was
crazy
so
that it took
good.
5 movies for that line to come out.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so
So good.
how about I really like that I called in this last movie
Yeah.
that I called the fact that this guy was a scammer and he
And-
was just lying that he had never been in
you
a
know-
game and he's making money off of it.
And you know what sucks is like, one, that's something I would normally have called out, and I'm a little jaded. You beat me to it.
Oh, I called it immediately.
But the other thing is, it really sucks that he did the trap and still, he actually got the hooks in and made his way up. He beat the timer and still wasn't able to connect those wires.
I
'cause
know.
he fell. That
He
sucked.
should have been just a touch higher and he might have
I
been
think-
able to.
I don't think it was even the height. I think he needed to get the hooks deeper. If they had gotten deeper, he would have had more support.
Maybe.
I think that's what did him in the end, and that sucks. So do you have a favorite, not even trap, favorite game? Is there one
Okay,
that
like
sat
a full one.
full game?
Wow.
Anyone that really sat with you in particular?
Wow.
Because like the see no speak no evil wasn't even attached to the 5 people in the room. That was attached to the detectives game.
Right. And
So,
that was a
one had
little bit
layers.
that was a little bit confusing
There's a
in
lot
that
of layers.
just because there were like 2 going on at the same
There's
time.
like 3.
But we did get a hint of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oh, what was my favorite?
There's like 3 or 4 games happening at the same time when that happened.
I think I do like the one with the 5 people.
Okay.
I
I
think-
had a feeling that
I think that one was really cool. I was also going to say the cops one.
Okay.
Um
Now, when you say the cops one, because there's like 4
The block
games
of
with
ice.
cops. Okay.
the
that's what I
block of
thought.
ice.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
I really like twos.
Well, and I
games.
just, you know what? Here's a running theme through these movies. If these people would just settle the hell down and chill out
They
for a
almost did.
moment, just chill out for a moment and use your brain, like you might do better. But no, you panic. I mean, not for nothing. I'd panic too. I would absolutely panic. Okay, because there's some pretty disturbing shit in these movies. I'm telling you. Excuse my French, but like when you're talking about this, that guy's crazy as hell. I'm telling you. It is a little warm in here. I'm gonna get up and check the temperature and possibly reset the thermostat. I'll let you vamp a little bit there.
All right. So, yeah, I'm really trying not to bring up like 2 specific traps because I keep forgetting you haven't seen them yet.
Oh, okay.
And-
Yeah, don't bring any of it.
And they're my 2 like all-time favorites. Although, man, the block of ice is really crazy. If you can't tell, 5 is on the mind in this little rundown here. I'm trying to think what was my favorite plot twist, because as much as it's really hard to say that the ending of the first movie isn't, because of how I feel about that movie. But like the rest of them have far crazier plot twists. I just think that one's the best executed. So as far as like a favorite plot twist, I don't know. Do you have any inkling? Because it's really difficult.
It's very tough.
Especially because it happens every like 30 minutes in these movies. I mean, actually, that might be too long of a time. Like every 10, 20 minutes, you're getting another plot twist.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, let's talk about we were going to talk a little bit about the traps, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you guys, whether you're watching now or you're watching later, whatever, if you have like a favorite, either a favorite Saw movie or a favorite Saw trap or anything, yeah, anything like that, like throw it at us. Comment section's always open.
No, actually, that's a lie. It closes at 10.
Oh no, it doesn't.
It closes at 10. If I see anyone comment after 10 p.m., I want to play a game.
I'm gonna comment.
It's like 10 o'clock. It's like Porky Pig if he was setting up the games.
And
I want to play a game.
And don't forget to subscribe, or Dan's gonna play a game.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no, I don't want to. I don't want to play a game.
Didn't we threaten that in
our
our last walk? We were like,
I threatened it.
Although it was sort of jumbled, like we took a while to get there. It was almost like a mini podcast in the car.
I want to play a game.
Seen it. I cut very little out of that. But anyway, okay. But I digress.
Oh, I heard about that because she was like, this is a really long section. And in the back of my mind, I'm like,
I didn't cut much.
I'm like, she normally cuts a ton.
I didn't cut much.
Oh, great. Cool. I'm glad we left that whole segment in.
Yeah, I know. It was quite the segment. The park segment was shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, all right, we digress again. This is just what we do. So, favorite traps. What you got for me?
Oh man.
Do we want to go by episode or just bring some
by episode?
I don't know. I don't know if I could go by episode.
They do feel like episodes. They are movies. This is not Star Wars.
Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I feel like I'm watching a TV series.
Like an episode of Law and Order.
All right. And on the next episode of Loki, which is something we need to watch. We're going to watch Loki too. We're going to be talking about it when we watch it.
So, yeah, I mean, it really is like a series.
Okay, so like what
except
traps?
I have to wait 3 or 2 years for the next one to come out instead of a week.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about the most disturbing trap.
Pit.
I was just going to talk about the most disturbing.
I was really kind of prolonging it
that
because I knew we were going to get
here. So far in Saw,
yeah.
Out of the 7, I'm pretty sure the most disturbing is still the needles. It was horrifying.
Rough. It's really rough.
I had to shade my eyes. I had to shield my eyes real quick.
And a couple of later ones, there are some that are just as disturbing.
Really?
There's 1 or 2. Like out the ones we've seen, I'm saying.
Okay.
There's 1 or 2 that I think like match it because of how drawn out they are. Like, so I don't think the rack competes with needles, but there's some. I'm really trying to remember.
The rack, is that the one?
The crucifix that rotates limbs.
Yes.
You really are having a hard time with that trap.
That was, I know. And that was in 2, right?
Yeah, yes.
And yeah, I'm having a hard time.
No, that's 3. You keep throwing me off.
But I do remember it. Remember it, but it didn't. I don't know. That one doesn't bother me nearly as much.
It doesn't bother me
as
at all.
As the one where the guy's laying there, the opening of 5, where the guy's laying on the table and he.
Yep. That one's rough.
The guillotine comes down and is swinging over him.
The pendulum.
Pendulum, yes, and it's getting lower and lower
rough.
and lower.
That's a really, really rough one.
And the guy's got to decide to put his hands in and have them crushed, and that was because there were literally.
And that wasn't even a saw trap,
right? Technically not, but there were intestines flying and stuff like.
Okay, speaking of intestines flying. So
there were a lot of intestines in this. Was it the last one or 6?
It's this one.
Yeah, there were a lot of intestines.
I'll explain why.
Plopping on the ground.
I'll explain why in a second. And it's something that we keep forgetting about.
Okay. Sorry about the
So
glare.
I'm gonna steal one of my mother's lines. As we've been watching this, she's like, "Whoever made these movies are sick bastards." Like she's just like muttering to herself.
I don't
every
think I
time.
said that. I think I just said,
Yeah,
people are sick as hell.
Yeah, sick as hell. Whatever you've been saying, you change it every time. But along those lines, no. What makes them really sick in the head is thinking that I needed to watch this in 3D.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see this in 3D.
That's why things kept flying at the camera, because it was meant to be
I got
watched
you.
in
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah, we don't need that.
That's not cool.
We don't need
That's
that.
not. Even if I had like if I had seen all the movies coming up to this and now it's coming out in theaters now in 3D, I would look at that and I'd be like, I'll watch the normal.
So
I would opt out of 3D intentionally.
So I do want to talk about other traps if you want to, but I'm having an issue with the main saw in these movies has been a circular saw. We saw a hacksaw one time.
No, we've seen it a couple times. See it in one, see it in 2, and you see it in
We did
5?
we did see the hacksaw a couple times. You're right, because we did see it in this last one as well. But
I think
we've
it's
seen
a jigsaw.
But we've seen a circular saw. See, and I don't remember seeing a jigsaw at all.
I don't remember seeing it, but I think I remember hearing that, and that's why we would have missed it, because it's not as obvious.
Okay, so, but we've seen the circular saw many, many times. I mean, it was used so many times.
It's one of the most frequently used in the franchise.
Yeah, well, can we use something else?
Why would you? It's versatile.
It is.
I mean, if you need to hack an arm in half, what else are you gonna use, really?
A hatchet, like that chick did eventually.
No, I'm talking vertically.
Oh,
yeah.
Ew. Okay, all right. I have to say,
that
possibly number 2 disturbing scene.
That one boiled.
Was probably that. Yeah, because the guy's hand was split arm all the way down, and it was like in 2 pieces and was flopping around. Ew.
That one got me more than the needles.
Ew, it was gross. I couldn't believe it.
Stuff. I'm not cool with eye stuff.
Yeah, and Dan kept saying, you don't have to push it in any
Don't go further.
You don't have to go that far.
You can stop at the hand.
You're getting enough blood. You can stop. Oh my god.
It's not going to give it more blood the further you go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That was really disturbing.
There's this guy on YouTube, to break off for a second. He does a lot of sketch comedy with like Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers, and he'll every once in a while he's added a new like figure like that. At one point he added Jigsaw, and so the sketches he was doing with Jigsaw, one of them was when you're in a Saw movie but you just really want to die, and he used that same trap as the example.
Oh my god.
And so he does this speech of like, the human body is a wonderful creation. It can hold it, and the dude sat there, he's like, well, I guess we just have to get started. At 5 pints each, it's possible we could both survive. And the other dude looks over at him, he's like, okay. You're serious? No, I was joking. No. I will wait for the gas to seep in this room. I don't care. Not playing this. And he winds up like really hit. The common theme is there's at least 2 people in the rooms for these sketches, and one of them winds up escaping because they become bros with Jigsaw in some shape or another. He's like, if you want, I can send your family a postcard and like let them know you'll miss them or something. He's like, I don't know if he has stamps. Do you have stamps?
Yeah.
No, I don't have stamps. He doesn't have stamps. So I'm sure he'll figure that out for you, though.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry.
It's really funny, but.
So, okay. So those are 2 really disturbing ones.
So,
I liked the one, like as far as like favorite traps. Um, which one was it in? Was it in
Well, if you tell me trap, I
five?
can tell you.
The guy that was on the table. No, he was on a bed. He was on a bed,
Mm-hmm.
and his limbs were all strapped, and he had to uh put daggers in his eyes or he'd be
Yep,
pulled apart.
that's 5.
Is that 5?
Yep.
Okay. Um
The cop had to make him.
that was okay.
That was rough.
He literally does one eye and not the other one,
And then
and gets torn apart anyway.
flung apart.
Like,
So here's the other thing, right? Is what? Okay, what overarching trap was your favorite? So, for example, like if that cop had just stayed in the beginning room, nothing would have happened, and everyone would have been fine. Like stuff like that. Like what? I think one of mine is probably Amanda's. You know what really sucks though is that she actually did pass her test,
yes.
and because of Gordon, or not Gordon, whatever the hell his name is, Hoffman, she had to die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's rough.
I
That's
don't know,
why she
'cause I
wasn't
really
able
hadn't-
to look at his wife. I didn't process that till now. That wasn't because she had this disdain the whole time. That's because she knew what she thought she did. She knew that in her mind she killed their kid. That's why she had been acting weird around his wife in the few flashbacks we got of that.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. A lot of retroactive storytelling happens.
Okay,
if you
yeah.
can't tell.
I'm not remembering it quite that clearly.
It was very subtle, but the actor did a very good job.
You know, we were talking about
portraying.
lines and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's used every single time.
Yeah.
You know, make your choice.
I love it, and it's not.
But I think it's good.
I think
it works.
I think the complete line is what really does it for me. The live or die, make your choice. That is so good.
Yeah.
And every time it's used, it's multifaceted.
Okay, so what other traps? Like, I like the gun behind the peak hole in the door.
Yes,
and
the Magnum
was-
keyhole or
that-
eye hole.
That was crazy.
So I know I asked this off camera, but what is currently your favorite movie? Mind you, we've only watched up to final chapter.
Oh, sorry.
And one I haven't asked you that you can tack on to the end of this.
4 is the same one that runs at the same time as
Yes.
3, right?
Yes.
I think I have to say that one.
That one's really good.
I think I was most intrigued by it. I was like most like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you know.
It kept you on the edge.
But I also really enjoyed 7, the final chapter.
Okay.
I liked that one a lot because I thought,
Well, mind you, what's his name is still running around now. The doctor.
yes, I like the shifting in
But I think
who's taking over the spot of Jigsaw, basically.
I think that means the whole thing is over now. I really do think the purpose was he was gonna die, and the final game was Hoffman's.
Okay.
And I think the idea was if Hoffman could have passed, that would have been great. But he knew he had the contingencies like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is killing is distasteful. So,
Oh yeah, that's such
but
a good line. I
it's
forgot.
It's such a great line.
I forgot about that.
Now, one thing I haven't asked you is we have 3 movies left. We have, and I think I know the answer, but Jigsaw, Spiral, the Book of Saw, and which that one might actually be taking place after 7, now that I think about it. And then Saw X. Which one are you most anticipating?
Saw X.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Saw X, yeah.
I think I'm most anticipating Spiral.
Because
Spiral's the one I know the least about.
Saw X takes place between Saw 1 and 2, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
But I'm also really looking forward to Jigsaw, which is the next one.
Even if I didn't know the beginning and end, I would be more curious because I know the timeline of that. I'd still be more curious about Spiral, especially because the casting for that is wild.
Okay.
Like I said, they have not Kevin Hart. The hell is it? Chris Rock as the main character, and Samuel L. Jackson is in this one as well.
Wow.
Like that. I think this is the first time a Saw movie has had like big names.
It kind of makes me want to watch the next two like
back to back
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Like try to get them done.
I kind of want to watch those two and then like wait a day and then watch X.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Yeah.
I am wildly excited for Spiral. I'm even more excited for Jigsaw because I know that the ending trap in that movie.
Okay,
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's potentially my favorite in the whole franchise. I've said that so many times.
So
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and watch the whole franchise, the whole series. And I'm kind of glad that I did not have interest in watching them before.
Yeah, now you got to.
Because otherwise, I would have had to wait like 2 years to see the next one and 2 years to see the next one. I might have gotten.
The real question is, are they going to continue? Is there a point to continuing after?
I don't know.
Was the grand plan to do 10 movies?
I mean, I guess we'll see.
But
I do. Okay, so I think each reveal that happened was. Well, I shouldn't say each one was better than the one prior, because I think, the reveal of him in the first movie, the reveal that he was laying on the floor the whole time in the bathroom and supposedly dead, that was like, whoa, hold up.
That I cannot.
And even though at the end of the final chapter or Saw 7, even though just before the pig mask comes off, did I say that I thought it was the doctor? Did I say that out loud?
I don't think you said it out loud.
Okay. Well, I was pretty sure that it was going to be the doctor.
You did, but it was well before.
Oh, it was well before. Okay. So I did say that, but it was still like, okay, like
every step of these movies is just like, I don't even know how to describe it because it's almost like a marathon.
Yeah.
Even if you were to watch them years and years apart, every step is like, I'm making progress. Oh, I have so much further to go. Like that is exactly how it feels.
Right.
In the best way possible. I really like, man, so there's something like the way this last one ended, it does feel very final, but with questions.
Yeah.
And not in the typical way. It's very like, just, is this can there be more? That's really the only question is, can there be more?
Which is why I think that they started doing some prequel stuff and
I do
and
too.
in between stuff. I think that's why, because yes, you could continue, but I think it was too neatly ended.
Yep. I
And
think
if
it'd
you
almost spoil it.
continue it from there, you're gonna ruin it.
Yep. That's
Because
why I think
you don't really want the Doctor to become the new Jigsaw. That's silly
I don't think it's silly
in a
but
way. Like I don't like it. I like the fact
I
that
don't.
we
Yeah.
did not know that the Doctor was behind the scenes the entire time and feeding John all of this information and all this
Not
these
only
medical things.
that, but it's also been very obvious the whole time.
But yeah, but because we haven't seen him, you don't. I wasn't thinking that way. I wasn't thinking that way.
I knew it the whole time, but
Okay.
I also had it, previously spoiled, etc.
Right.
But knowing that, I could totally see how you could piece it together.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the best parts of these movies is like they really do leave so many in your face clues,
Right.
but in such a pervasive way.
Well, I definitely, like I said before, I do like the fact that we decided to watch them now after they're all out,
Mhm.
because I don't know. I think I either would have gotten bored if I was watching them every 2 years, or I would have been like, wait, I don't remember. I don't remember these people. I don't remember what's going on. I don't, like, I'm just glad that I
Do
get
we
to see it
think-
now so I can just keep rolling with it.
Do we think Adam and whatever his name's game was rigged?
Was it rigged? I
Because he couldn't have done any of his future traps without the Doctor.
But he could have gotten another Doctor if he needed
No,
one.
100%. But do we think
I don't think so.
that would have been Zepp?
Yeah, I
It
don't.
would have been Zepp. Do we think it was all right? So I guess the real question is: was it indirectly rigged to where one of those two would have come on top?
I mean, maybe.
Because that kind of like he had way more leverage on Adam than Adam had on him.
Right, but here's the thing. The reason why that game got so messed up was because when Adam woke up, his foot took the plug out of the tub.
I think it was supposed to.
And
though.
I don't think it was.
There are a lot of things in these movies like that, though, where it's like,
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think because he even said, "Oh, the key was with you in the bathtub." I don't think it was supposed to go down the drain.
I think it was one of those things where had he not panicked, he would have seen it in the water,
Right.
and been fine.
And that goes back to me saying if these people would stop panicking, they'd be all right.
I think Jigsaw knew he would panic and kick out the plug.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't think that it was set up.
Now that I really think about it, I don't think so either. But man, that whole like it screws with your mind so much.
And I do think, I mean, the more that I'm thinking about it after we saw these, I really think Adam is dead.
Really? I thought I was starting to win you over for a second.
I don't know, because although we didn't see him die, that's the whole thing.
You don't see him die. The pictures have to come from somewhere.
But they may have been taken prior.
Not of the new people. He had ones of the FBI agent.
That's true.
He had ones of everyone leading up to these games. He's had pictures of everybody. They have to come from somewhere.
So, like, he just gets to go free?
He didn't die.
So is that the cleanup of Amanda's mess?
Exactly.
Like, hey, well, I'm going to let you live, but you got to keep your mouth shut?
No. I think what it is it's such a specific line, and the other detail is so specific. These movies don't do things by accident.
I wonder if Jigsaw answers some of the Adam questions.
Maybe. Because here's the thing, right? Is he says I've been going around cleaning up your messes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the only mess we knew of directly was not Adam. What the hell is it? Eric.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
But in that same speech, when he's talking about it, he shows her choking out Adam.
Right.
And she definitely doesn't choke him out long enough for him to die from it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't see someone die in this franchise, they are alive.
They're 100% not dead. They're undead.
So my thought is that as a result of this, the doctor convinces Jigsaw or something, and Adam is one of the pig people. Like, he is
Probably
with that, taking pictures.
Probably.
Doing for Jigsaw what he had already been doing for him prior that got him in the game.
Right.
And that the other facet of that is, so these movies take a ton of money to make. Granted, horror is a very cheap genre to make. Still a metric crap ton. You would not mess up a detail of having the shackle on the wrong leg.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that with Adam's corpse, quote unquote, in the bathroom.
Okay.
Only when he's a corpse, it's on his right leg. And in that same movie, Jigsaw explicitly points out, put it on the left.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't mess up a detail like that in the same movie, let alone in a franchise like this. I think it's hinting at something bigger.
Okay.
That's my thought. And that's honestly, that's like all the evidence we have for and against it is like, well, he choked once.
Yeah.
Like,
one other trap that I want to bring up is the store window trap with the circular saws, the two guys and the girl in the center.
Oh,
and
God.
She's cheating on both of them with other one.
Did you just name that yourself?
Yes.
That was the most disturbing name.
The store window trap.
Come up with.
They're in a store window and everybody can see them.
It is so perfectly fitting.
Yeah, and then they decide that they're just gonna let her die, and she gets cut in half.
That is
by a circular saw.
It's really disturbing that you came up with a name for that on the spot.
Well, I'm
gonna look up the name of that.
You want to see what the name actually is?
The store window.
The store window trap.
If it's the store window trap,
I'm window trap.
The cops. Store window trap. Saw.
And I will say that.
Okay, they do not call it the store window.
What do they call it?
Public execution.
Oh, public execution trap. Ooh. It is public execution, though. It's very public.
The trap was located inside the Welthammer store. Okay. I wasn't going to read the rest of it because it cuts off and jumps ahead.
No problem.
But I just...
Yeah, I
didn't realize it was in a store, though. I thought it was on, like, a city block.
No, it was like a store window. Yeah.
All right. Well...
And that was also one that the puppet came in riding a little bike, right?
I love that gimmick so much.
Oh my gosh. That is too much.
I want to play a game.
I want to play a game. So do we have anything else that we want to bring up from it? From the first 7 so far?
So are there any questions you were like dying to see get answered, or anything you're hoping to see? Is there a specific type of trap we haven't seen that you're hoping a version of gets made? Or an instrument of death to be used?
Well, we have not seen...
We've seen the pain train.
There's...
the pain train.
Yeah. There's 3 traps that were in the Saw maze that we have not seen yet.
Yeah.
So I'm looking
One of those
forward
is
to those.
Saw X specific.
Is it?
Yeah. The eye tube.
The eye thing?
I'm pretty sure that's Saw X specifically.
Okay. There was another one that I'm like,
the razor wire maze.
Oh,
I know you want to see that.
Yeah, that comes in one of the next two. I do want to see that one for sure. The one with the bucket head people.
That's the next one.
That is the next one. That's Jigsaw.
It's one of my favorite traps.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that because I want to see what that's all about. Why are we wearing buckets on our heads?
It's the it's that infamous opening room I was telling you about.
Well, I'll tell you what right now. If I get caught up in one of these games, I'm probably just gonna die. I'm done.
Well, it depends on what the death is, right?
I don't know if it would depend because I think I would just be like, look, I'm dead no matter what. Like, no matter what I do, I'm dead.
Well, that's not true.
But in all of these, it has been true. People are dumb.
No. One guy cut his foot off and he made it out just fine.
Well, some people...
Another girl chopped her arm off.
Some people complete the task and they still die. I don't like that.
Well, yeah, you just have to hope this was done by Jigsaw and not one of his associates.
One of my other
that does
favorite
seem to
scenes...
be a theme, by the way, where his associates disobey.
Yeah. But one of the other favorite scenes, I got to bring this one up before we go. So I really like when Jigsaw, John, we'll say John, is on basically his deathbed. And he says,
it's such a good scene.
The guy comes in to rescue his wife.
Also,
and he says to him, you know, you can use that saw blade over there, or you can forgive me. Make your choice.
No, that's not even what he says. He says over on that table is a bunch of tools for you to take your aggression out.
The one that they focused in on was the saw blade. Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, a bunch of tools over there for you to take your aggression out with. So you choose, or you can forgive the man who's done all this to you.
Right.
And
so he pauses, and what I love is he goes up and he lays his hand on his chest and says, "I forgive you." And I thought, oh, that's wonderful. Like, his wife is going to live and everything. This is great, right? And then all of a sudden he just lifts up and he's got the damn saw and it starts going. I was like, you know what we haven't seen yet is a freaking chainsaw. Haven't seen a chainsaw yet.
I actually don't know if one gets used.
So anyway, you know, so here he kills him and I'm like, you're going to kill your wife. You don't know it, but you're going to kill your wife. Everybody needs to just stop and take a breath.
Oh, that's
Nobody stops and take a breath in this movie.
That was the other thing.
These movies.
Well, you know, that's not the only thing, though. He also hides details. You're supposed to do it unknowing.
Right.
Because if he told you why, it would defeat the purpose.
Right.
Which is just as sick, though.
It is. It's sadistic.
And so he even says, though, before he does, you can forgive me, and I can have ambulances here in a matter of seconds, and your wife's life can be saved. Like, he does.
Right.
So, actually, I think out of all these people, one, the least deserving might have been Amanda, because she actually was rehabilitated and had to die because of Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she got screwed.
Right.
And then this dude does that, and his wife is just like, she just has to accept it, and that's rough. So that was another question I was gonna ask now that I've remembered it. Who do you think was like the least deserving person in these traps?
The least deserving to be in a trap.
Yeah.
Like, they did not deserve this.
Yeah. And was there anyone that you thought was particularly deserving?
So the one guy I thought was deserving,
because for me, Hoffman was particularly deserving, because not only did he murder someone, he tried covering it up with Jigsaw style traps,
right?
As if that was going to get him free. And on top of that, I don't know, man, this probably is a bad thing that this is weighing in on this decision.
Mm-hmm.
He also didn't give them a way out. like Jigsaw does.
Right.
Which
so
that doesn't really make it better.
Yeah, but no, but I would definitely say that he was the most deserving to be.
And I think he got off the lightest in a weird way.
He absolutely did. I think the least deserve, the people who didn't deserve it the most, I'm gonna say the cops, like all of them. The one that was crushed, trash compactor
he
style.
Deserved it.
Boom.
He deserved it potentially the least.
Yeah. And then the other cops right after him, I think.
Yeah, were any of them corrupt?
The one was. Yeah, he was.
Okay. Well, maybe he deserved it a little.
Eric.
Yes, he was corrupt, but he had already lost his game. He got screwed over.
Right.
He got screwed over.
Right, I agree.
He lost it.
He did not get.
He got drug into
another game
unwillingly.
Yeah, like, and that I didn't like.
Well, not that you get drug into these willingly.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then you get your head crushed by 2 huge blocks of ice.
I think another thing is his son, even though nothing really happened to him, got done the dirtiest.
That is true. That is true. He actually, out of all of them, he is probably the least deserving to be in this nonsense.
Don't be related to pieces of shit.
Yeah. Well, and what about the mother and son?
I don't feel as bad for them as I do for that kid, because they weren't in any danger. Period.
That's true, but you don't know that.
Until the end, though.
Until the end, yeah.
And when you realize the end, it's like, okay, you know what? I can live with that.
Yeah,
you can get like, oh, you know what? The girl that he was cheating on his wife with was there too. That was kind of rough.
What are you talking about?
So he's cheating on his wife, right?
Who?
The dude that the mother's son killed.
Oh, the insurance guy.
Yeah, the insurance guy.
No, he was not. In fact, we don't even know that he was married, because the girl that he was talking to, because we thought that at first. That wasn't the case. The girl that he was talking to on the phone saying, I won't be home for dinner, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Was his sister.
Oh my God,
you're right. That's who was next to him in the cage was his sister.
I didn't even connect that.
But that you and I both thought the same thing earlier on, that this guy's cheating on his wife.
Until you said
and
that.
And what a jerk. And I thought it was his wife and kid in there until they revealed that it wasn't his wife and kid.
Until you said that just now, I still didn't connect that.
Because I thought, why is he happier to see this other girl than his wife and kid?
I thought that too.
And then you find out it's his sister, and it's like, that's not even his wife and kid. That's why he's happy.
And when she said, you piece of shit, I'm like, he's made his choice. Like, that's that. Yeah. And then that whole thing happens. I'm like,
right. It was all about the insurance. It was never about any of that.
Which we should have known from the beginning.
I know. We got tricked too.
I think that was the one time we actually got like full tricked.
Yeah.
That one was.
Yeah.
And that really was a personal game. I think that's what that movie makes Saw X more interesting to me, because if that wasn't personal, like, or if that wasn't his most personal, what is?
Yeah.
And same with the dude that killed his unborn child.
Yeah, like you figure they're all personal in some way.
Yeah, but some of them have a couple degrees of separation.
They do, but most of them.
What's more personal?
What's more exactly? That's what I'm wanting to know.
Maybe Saw X is reeling me in. I'm
telling you, man, it's gonna be something.
I'm so excited. Yeah. So let me put this out there, because earlier when I asked for a tool of destruction you want to see used or anything, you kind of went to chainsaw, which I do think
that would be cool. Come on now.
I think that'd be dope as hell. I'm trying to think of the implementation.
Well, however, do they not want to use a chainsaw because
cliche?
Because of Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, and Jason and whoever else, like tons of people wield chainsaws.
Yeah.
Bad phone. The The other thing I would say though is I don't know if it's more than one trap. I know there's one trap that utilizes lasers.
Okay.
And that's all I'll say about that trap.
Okay.
But
I had to bring up another trap too.
If that occurs, like what else gets wedged in? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So there was another one just before. It was insurance of some sort again, but it was a girl and a guy that worked together in insurance of some sort, and they had to
life insurance, right?
I think so, and they had to cut flesh off. And whoever had the most flesh in basically wins the game.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
And girlfriend takes just like a regular knife, basically, and starts cutting off her arm. And I'm like, well, first of all, you're never going to cut through it in time.
She did something kind of smart. I think what her intention was, get to the bone and then cleaver. So she has so she has an easier time to get through.
Maybe. But I'm yelling at her. I'm like, use the freaking cleaver, like a couple of chops, and you should be all right after that. Like, you don't need to be hacking through it. So, anyway, yeah. So she takes the cleaver and cuts off her arm, throws it in the thing, and she wins because it weighs more than, the flesh that the guy is cutting off of his stomach. It's really gross. I'm just saying, it's really gross.
Well, there's also like. So there's like what 4 traps that are completely inescapable.
Well, see, because and you know what the other thing is, like, these people want to live really bad because not that I don't want to live, don't take it that way, but me, if I'm faced with this and they're like, well, you have 60 seconds, I'd be like, okay, bye, love everybody. Bye.
Do you prefer
I'd be paralyzed with fear.
The like one-man traps or the verses that kind of got introduced later on?
I do kind of like the verses.
I like them less, I think, in principle, but I do really like visually they're fun.
Because basically you kind of have to decide, which one of you is going to die. Like, and in the one where like you have to put the most flesh in the bucket. That
one's rough.
That's like a Survivor competition or something.
Oh my god! I mean, it is by definition a Survivor challenge. Like,
yes. Fill the bucket and raise your flag, and you win.
No.
It's like a Big Brother challenge.
Why?
They're like challenges, like those kind of challenges.
That dude was a big brother, you know what I'm saying?
He was a big brother. He was. He was definitely large.
He was a big boy. Yeah, he kind of had a weird advantage in that one that I would not have utilized. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't realize this was all down here like that. Okay. Yeah, it was crazy. But we've actually been going for almost an hour and 15 talking about this. I guess we should probably get going.
Sorry, 1 sec.
Were there any other traps that you wanted to bring up and chit chat about real quick?
So you brought up the pendulum.
Oh,
the line he kind of says at the very end of like, I did what I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Is telling about like so much for one, because of how early that was in the like timeline of things.
Mm-hmm.
That means everyone already knew about the Jigsaw killer. He's not a killer. That's distasteful. So people's mindsets are like, well, if I get abducted tomorrow, like I gotta be ready. That's kind of rough. Like that he knew he could do this and he was expecting to be okay because he thought. I think that's the most dangerous part about that universe is if you live in that state or like general area, you better pray to God it's not a copycat.
Yeah.
Because that would suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if it's actually him, you have pretty damn good odds, honestly. You just sit in a room for an hour, you're fine.
Yeah. Wait, there was another one that I was just going to bring up real quick before we go.
And Amanda's trap with the rib cage.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Again,
That was like,
that's another example of like, one, she disobeyed, but two, look, I think that was the second time actually he said that line now, because didn't he say it to Amanda?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
killing is distasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she did the thing. She did the thing.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So that was 2.
I'm pretty sure. And the third trap or the other trap that she did, the dude didn't do it, but had he wouldn't have escaped either.
Yeah. Another one that I liked, and then we'll sign off. Okay, so the eyes being sewn shut and the mouth being sewn shut,
see,
and the
no,
2
speak,
guys.
No. That's rough.
I thought, okay, not only was it rough, but I thought it was kind of humorous because, this one guy can't say anything. The other one can't see anything.
And he's begging him to talk to him.
And he's like, and they're going back and forth. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, if you would just settle down for a second and come up with something.
You know what's even, in retrospect, now it makes sense why he killed him. He's a cop.
Right.
Like, he had that instinct of, like, I need to survive above all else.
Right.
And do not take that out of context. I just realized what I said verbatim. Like, it makes sense he killed him. He's a cop.
Yeah. No.
Don't do it.
But, well, and he could also see. He couldn't speak.
Right.
So...
And this dude's throwing shit at him.
Right, but he knew that, like, he was going to have to do this. There was no way.
He was able to assess the fact that he was getting stuff thrown. This guy's already violent.
Right.
So, which of the furnace traps did you hate the most, I guess? Because there was 2 or 3.
So there were 2.
Yeah, 2.
2 that I remember. I think the first one was a little more terrifying. I don't know. They're both terrifying.
I think
But the second one was probably more terrifying because there was no way. You're done.
It reminded me more of like a Brazen Bull situation.
The first one, you had a shot.
The first one was just straight fire.
Yeah.
Which is
But he had a shot.
Yeah, he did have a chance.
You could have turned it off.
You should have
you should have just burned yourself and turned it off. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think the problem was when he noticed the valve, he was so far back.
It was so far,
he couldn't get to it. There was no just burning yourself, I don't think.
Yeah.
What I do like the amount of times people have noticed a detail or saw him and been like, "Fuck you," or like you jackass. Like that like there's something very relatable about that. Like yeah, I will say above all else, the writing in these movies is really good.
Oh, real quick. The guy that was a fraud in the last movie.
And the cinematography. Some of these transitions are phenomenal.
The guy that was a fraud in the last movie, he's no longer a fraud.
Yeah, and he did that.
And
he did that.
He did. And
no witnesses are left to tell otherwise.
Right. And he's still alive.
Yep. Hey, you know what's funny though?
Does he become a pig person?
Those scars are gonna heal to be the exact same scars he had previous.
I know.
And you know what's even funnier? So we had a little bit of a debate on the couch while we were watching this. You were saying like, oh, those scars are nothing. You didn't go through a game. The dude from the third movie walked out with literally nothing happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Man.
I know. Whatever.
Well,
so
his wife's head got blown off, but besides
we have gone a little bit over what we normally do.
Yeah, I think I've got to pick someone up.
And I definitely don't like making these too awfully long.
Oh, who cares about the length? It's more content.
Yeah, I mean, we really got going here. Really enjoyed talking about this. Enjoyed, talking a little bit about Fright Fest in the beginning.
By the way, if any police are listening to this, look beyond the crossroads. And you
Um,
will find a sunset.
Yeah, really enjoyed Saw movies 1
I-
through 7. We're looking forward to seeing the last 3.
I'm so stoked.
And we will share our thoughts with you on those after we watch them. And we'll also be talking about Loki sometime in the future. We're going to try to get better about going live, but no promises, people. Make sure you're subscribed.
No promises, pig people.
Yeah, right. And make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when we do go live, since we are not consistent in our lives.
Wait,
We're actually more consistent in our vlogs these days than we are our lives.
Hold on.
And he's saying, wait.
I can do a thing. Hold on.
He can do a thing.
Is this gonna... I need something shorter. Hold on. Shoot.
I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing.
I gotta turn my volume off for a second.
Look for we should have a vlog coming out this week, probably just one vlog.
Okay, I found it. So real quick.
Oh my gosh, what is this real quick stuff?
I gotta say the thing. No, wait, why did you start? No, wait. Pig people. I couldn't remember the joke. I just knew the punchline.
Oh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, look.
That's a 14-second loop of him laughing.
Until next time, keep an eye out for our vlogs. They'll be coming a minimum of once a week. We're doing our best to get some stuff out there for you guys. For those of you that will be going to Fright Fest next week, we hope to see you there. And if you see one of us, just stop us and say hey. We enjoy that. Until next time, I guess we're cutting out of here. We're done for the night.
Sorry.
Bye.